Hi guys, welcome back to Refreshing Motherhood and welcome back to my living room. Tonight I am doing something a little bit different. I am doing the first official episode of Pajama Talk. That's what I'm going to call it for right now. I don't know if I'll stay with that, but basically Pajama Talk for me is just an opportunity for me to sit down in front of the camera after I put the baby to bed and just kind of talk to you in a more like intimate, casual, honest, open way. I feel like my videos, like they're edited and they're staged and I have notes and all of these things, and I do have notes on this video, but it's more of me like just doing a one take as if you were literally sitting in my living room. I'm in my pajamas, it's dark outside, and I'm getting ready for bed and I just want to share what's on my heart. So I'm going to be doing kind of a series like this. If you have a name idea for this series, please leave it in the comments down below, and also let me know if you're watching this video from your pajamas, because you know what, sometimes I don't have time to put clothes on. I don't have time to get all done up and ready and everything, and I just want to wear my pajamas all day long. So welcome to Pajama Talk. Today I am talking about 5 mistakes that I have made as a new mom and just kind of sharing what I have learned from it, and hopefully I will not make these mistakes with baby number 2. So the first mistake that I want to talk to you about, I have my notes on my phone right here. The first mistake is not paying attention to myself in regards to like my postpartum care. So when Denver was a newborn, my husband got sick, my dog was in the hospital for 7 days, and I was really focusing on taking care of my newborn. I didn't know what to do. Taking care of my husband who just had emergency surgery. Taking care of my dog who had a plethora of pills and medicines that she had to take and coming home from the hospital, and I was completely ignoring anything that I was feeling, and that led me to get mastitis, which is a infection in your milk duct, and it's incredibly horrible and painful, and I was so sick. And if I would have been paying attention to the signs of mastitis early on and just saying, you know what, I don't really feel good today and I'm having some pain and things like that, then I could have prevented it. And I did prevent it in future instances. When I would get those same feelings, then I could unclog the duct and things like that, and then wouldn't get infected and all of that. And so because I was so focused on my family and I wasn't really focused on me, I made myself feel even worse by not just paying attention to those signs. And in order to take care of your family, and I know as a mom, you put your family first. It's just what you do. And in order to take care of your family, you have to take care of yourself. And so if you want to do your best, you have to be your best and feel your best. And so that's something that I learned. I really need to make sure that I feel good and that I'm putting time and energy into and just paying attention to the way that I'm feeling. So mistake number 2 is not following and trusting my instincts enough as a mom. Because I'm a first-time mom, a lot of times I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, and what do I do in this situation, and I don't know, I've never done this before. And that's all true. I've never done it before, and I'm still learning new things each and every day that I am a mother. And those instincts, those motherly instincts are there whether or not you think they are or not. They are just there. It just is something that happens. And if there's a situation with Denver and I feel in my heart like I feel like I should do this, and I'm trying to fight it because maybe that's not what the books say, or maybe that's not what other people are telling me to do, then I'm ignoring what, like, this special unique bond that I have with my baby. I know my baby better than anybody else. It's just because I am her mother, and we have a very unique connection. And especially because I'm breastfeeding, we have like this time together that we really focus on each other, and I really listen to her, and she learns how to communicate to me. And not saying that you can't have a bond like that if you are bottle feeding, because that's not true at all. It's just like we have these times together, especially because I'm a stay-at-home mom, that makes our like intuition with each other very, very strong. And those motherly instincts are there for you, and you need to really just like tap into that, and you will know what you're supposed to do. You will know what the right answer is. And for me, a lot of times I didn't trust my motherly instincts because I felt like I've never been a mom before. How do I know what my motherly instincts are? But they're just instinctual. They're just there, and you just know. So my next mistake, if my phone will load, is asking too many people for advice. So this one's tough. In the beginning, when Denver was an itty bitty newborn, she lost a lot of weight, and that's because we were breastfeeding, and the doctors say they have this chart that they follow. It's usually for formula fed babies, and Denver wasn't following the chart. She was losing too much weight. So the doctors were saying, oh my gosh, nurse her every single hour around the clock, wake her up. And people were telling me it's not normal for a newborn to sleep 4 hours straight or 5 hours straight at night, which Denver was. And then I would ask my mom, and my mom would say, let your baby do what your baby wants to do. And then I would ask this person, and they would say, no, you need to do this. And I got myself so overwhelmed because I asked way too many people for advice, and I didn't know what the right answer was because I was getting fogged up. And going back to point number 2, my instincts were getting ridden by all of these other people's advice. So I would say find somebody that you really trust. Find somebody who maybe is closer to your baby, like your partner, and ask them, like, okay, what do you think about this situation? Or your mom, if your mom is around the baby a lot, like, you ask your mom, like, okay, what do you think about this situation? But when you start opening it up to 10, 20 different people, then you're gonna get a wide variety of responses. And sometimes it's hard just to weed through, okay, what was gonna work for my baby? Because what I've learned, something that works for you might not work for me. And so 10 different people had 10 different things that worked. And so it's just hard trying to figure out, okay, well, how does that relate to my baby? So asking too many people for advice can be too overwhelming, especially in the beginning. Okay, my next point is not communicating my struggles early on, early enough to where they didn't get out of control. So I struggled a lot with postpartum anxiety. It's something that I still struggle with, but I struggled with it by myself internally for a long time before I told anybody, before I told my husband, like, hey, I've been dealing with this for a while now. I would have these anxiety attacks that would hit me, and I would just ignore them, and I wouldn't tell anybody about them. And because I was bottling that up, and I was so terrified of postpartum depression that I would fall into postpartum depression, I was fighting it and saying, no, that's not happening to me. It's not happening to me. I'm not going to let it happen. But sometimes it's not something that you can control. And my anxiety was not something that I can control. It was just something that was happening to me. And as soon as I started communicating those feelings, I felt a huge weight just off of my shoulders, and I felt so much better. And from that point on, I have not had an anxiety attack as bad as it was when I was bottling them up. And I think that just goes to show you that your support system around you, your village around you, can really help encourage you and lift you up and help you work through those feelings that you have. And so the sooner you can communicate those feelings, the faster and better and easier it will be for you to heal. And my very last mistake that I feel like I made as a new mom is fixating on Denver's schedule and ignoring the signs that it needs to change. So Denver was changing her schedule whether I wanted to or not, and I was fixating on what it should be, what it used to be, and totally and completely beating my head up against a wall because she wasn't following that anymore. And it's really easy to fall into that and just saying, okay, well, this has been working for 2 weeks or 2 months, so I'm gonna stick with it. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what the heck? What's going on? This is not working anymore. And that's because they are growing and changing so fast that what worked yesterday is probably not gonna work today or tomorrow. And so that was really, really hard for me to come to terms with. Denver is almost 8 months old now, and I am just now really figuring that out. And her sleep schedule and her nap schedule and it just changes so much. And because it worked really, really well before, I feel like it should continue to work. But what I'm not realizing is that she's getting older and she's coming to these milestones in her development that's changing the way she sleeps and the way she moves and the way she eats, and all of that is totally fluctuating what her normal is. And so if you can just kind of have a loose routine that you like to follow and be open to the fact that it will change on a regular basis, it will be so much easier for you. I cannot tell you how many times I cried out of frustration because she wasn't doing what I wanted her to do, but she was doing what she needed to do. So just focusing on listening to your baby is really, really huge in the beginning. So those are the 5 mistakes that I feel like I made. Those are the 5 big ones. If you feel like you have a mistake that you made that you want to share, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. This is just a place where we can all be honest and communicate and talk, and I love it, and I love getting to interact with you guys, and you guys are sharing your stories with me, and it moves me like so deeply, and it just makes me want to like take this channel to another level and just like pour my heart and soul into it even more than I already do, because I love you guys so much. So thank you for sticking around with me. Thank you for listening to my mistakes and just my heart. I appreciate it so much. I will see you in my next video, but in the meantime, make sure that you just be gentle on yourself, because motherhood is tough, but I promise, I know you're doing a great job. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye guys. I'm just gonna talk to you today. This is not a, I know what I'm doing and here's what you need to be doing. This is more of a, this is what I'm learning, and this is what I'm feeling, and this is what I am trying to actively do to remain patient during these trying times of exhaustion and stress and kind of discouragement when you feel like you're doing something wrong as a mom. What is this?
Scared. Boo.
Boo?
That's boo. Like this. 5. Spread your fingers out more. Perfect.